Hi everyone, I'm Toni Halstead. I'm here today to teach you Yoga. Therapeutic yoga is a class you know I teach at the club. And if you have been practicing with me and you're here, I'm welcome, and I want you just to know that hopefully soon we'll be back together. I don't know when, but I certainly miss you, and I look forward to getting back hopefully sometime this summer. Until then, here I am practicing with you in your home. I'm in my home. And I just want to share with you a little bit about, therapeutic yoga is all about, certainly looking at particular poses that help with balance, strength, and our posture. Today we're going to particularly look at our posture, the muscles needed to be strong in order to have good posture. And also not only strong, but the need to also create length or stretch the muscles, because oftentimes they work against each other. We can be weak, and therefore if we're too tight, we're working against each other, and it's hard to create that ability to stand tall, shoulders back. And we're going to look at that here today. I want to share with you just a little bit of information, and I think it's interesting in looking at some studies that how our posture can affect our health. So let me just share that with you before we begin, so that when you practice today, some of these poses, in fact all of them, I do almost in every class, and I just want you to know why, and there's a good reason. And so let me just share this with you. So there's been a study by several researchers, several doctors, and this article was posted in the American Journal of Pain Management. We believe that posture affects and moderates every physiologic function, from breathing to production. Spinal pain, headache, mood, blood pressure, pulse, and lung capacity are among just a few of the functions that are most easily influenced by our posture. What they're saying is posture impacts all bodily functions, particularly breathing, and thereby the oxygen supply to the body cells. Posture also affects the sympathetic function of the body and its ability to regulate itself and maintain internal balance. So we don't realize how much it affects some of the things that they just mentioned, from respiration, oxygenation, sympathetic function, all of these and even more. I'm not reading it all, but they've done this research, and I find it quite interesting that because we close off, compressing diaphragm, organs, can't take a deep breath, that affects from the cellular level. So let's just look at ways we can really begin to notice how we sit and stand, and when we're not in that good posture, we are aware of it. We catch ourselves and we correct it. And we might be able to eliminate some of those things I just read, but also it's all about awareness. So let's begin with that on our back. So before we actually come on to the back, let me just say, if you have obviously a wall or a chair, I like that just because of safety. We're going to use one or the other today, or maybe even both, but at least one. A wall is great, it won't move. If you have a chair, I want it to be sturdy. A towel is nice to bring under the head, because when we're on the back, we want to be on the back as if we were standing in a moment. We're going to be in the pose called mountain pose, but supported by the floor. And if we're on the back and the chin is a little bit high, we want a little more support. If it's too low, closing off the throat, we want less support. We want to feel as if the chin is maybe just below the forehead and the head is sitting right on the spine. If our head is even slightly forward, even just by a few degrees, it adds poundage. So our head's about 12 pounds approximately, and as it goes forward, it adds more weight, as much as 30 plus pounds if it's really forward. We call it that text neck. So if we're looking down at our electronic devices, computer, phone, whatever, a book even, that adds a lot of weight, and therefore these muscles have to work extremely hard to hold your head, that heaviness of your head forward. So we want to look at strengthening, obviously, these muscles today. So as we come onto the back, knees bent, head supported, and we'll begin. So take a moment if you need to go find those items. You don't have to be right near the wall yet, but just come onto your back. If you don't have a yoga mat, that's okay. I'm going to be suggesting things to do if you don't have a mat, just for safety reasons. You particularly want to have a wall or a chair nearby. If you have your yoga mat, just come onto the mat or on the floor, and we'll begin. So as you bend your knees, we're going to begin there for just a moment so that our spine can begin to naturally just lengthen by relaxing the muscles in the back. We want to notice the natural curve, so in the neck and the low back. Noticing where you connect to your mat, so the back of the head to your support, and the upper back, and come down to the mid back, and certainly again you notice the curves where you're not touching your mat or floor. So I might say mat, but if you don't have it, that's okay, just wherever you're connecting, right? Carpet, rug, just whatever what's ever there. And then your feet, right, and the hips. So just notice and adjust your feet so that you have comfort in the legs, they feel steady, and you slowly begin to find a place that you can be still. So wiggle, adjust, and you're going to begin with your hands on the belly. I like to start here for many, many reasons, because the diaphragm is a muscle, and we want to begin to activate this very, very important muscle. So before you begin to deepen your breath, let's just simply notice your natural breath. Your hands are resting, your arms are relaxed, so that you might begin to notice the weight of your hands resting against your belly. Sort of sending the message. Weight on the body helps us sort of relax. You ever put a heavy blanket on, it just feels, So just notice the hands resting there and telling the belly to soften, right? Then you begin to relax the shoulders. Close your eyes. Relax your facial muscles. You might take a swallow, and you notice those areas that you use, and then soften those areas, your throat and cheeks, your jaw. By taking these few moments to notice the body and how it's responding to your support, to your awareness of releasing and relaxing. It takes time. Maybe we've come from a busy morning, afternoon, I don't know what time it is for you right now, but you're just asking the body to slow down, to be still. It's not easy. So I give you permission to move. Yeah, don't feel like you have to just be glued and not move. If you need to move, you're going to move. But all of a sudden your body says, okay, this is good. I can relax here. And now begin to say hello to the breath, and right where it enters through the nostrils, just notice as you take your next breath in, nice and slow. Don't try to hurry, but just notice the sensation. Maybe there's a coolness. And as you exhale, I talk about the power of your breath, and the exhalations helps to activate that relaxation response. So begin to linger on your exhalation, lengthening it. So try not to cut the exhale short. Just completely empty your lungs. And with your next inhalation, see if you can think about breathing towards your hands a little deeper to the bottom of the lungs. So instead of breathing the upper third, you want to begin to breathe a little deeper. Breathe towards your hands. We often refer to the diaphragmatic breath as a belly breath, because you might begin to be feeling a movement beneath your hands, ever so slight. So as we breathe deep to the bottom of the lungs expand, pressing against the diaphragm, which flattens it towards the belly and helps to expand the belly naturally. It's all natural. You don't have to be working towards this. It happens just gradually. So begin to notice maybe some movement beneath your hands. The rise on the inhale and the fall on the exhale. So once again, you just want to not work too hard. If you just completely empty the lungs and then begin to take a slow but deeper, fuller breath in. Smooth. Your longer breath out, even breaths. Longer exhales, perfectly fine. In fact, that's what we work towards, particularly when we want to relax the body. So a few more diaphragmic breaths. And we're going to say hello to the muscles beneath the hands, the abdominal muscles here in just a moment. So with your next exhalation, I want you to engage the navel to the spine the best you can find it. Maintain the natural curve of your lower back. Alternating with your breath, you relax on the inhale. Feel the belly. Soften, expand, exhale, engage. I'm going to say hug, as you know. Keep it going. I'm going to come onto my back. Just not really looking around. Hopefully your eyes are still closed. If you're not comfortable with that, then just slightly open them. On the next exhalation, hug and hold. And with your next exhalation, I want you to slowly bring your lower back towards the floor and hold. With each exhale, you hug and hold and continue to breathe. You might not feel much movement beneath your hands if you're really truly able to engage, but you're feeling more in the upper part of the lungs. One more breath. Keep pressing, exhale, holding, and now an inhale. Relax, release your belly, low back comes away from the floor. Olivia, just a little arch in the back. And again, exhale, hug, press your lower back towards the floor. And again, we're going to alternate. Inhale, relax, back comes away. A little baby arch, if that's comfortable. Exhale, hug. Now as you continue this, you're going to feel maybe a movement of the pelvis, right? The hips. You might feel that movement right across what we refer to as the low part of the back, a bony part called the sacrum. You might feel that, but it's just this movement with your breath. Movement and breath become one. We'll take two more. You're going to exhale, hug and hold again. Your arms are going to come by your side body, close, palms down. Just gently lengthen your fingertips towards your feet and then hug your shoulders, arms and palms into the floor. I'll say floor, might be mat, but walk your feet back just a little bit towards your hips and now press your feet. Keep hugging your lower back into your mat. Hug the navel to the spine and slowly inhale, lift just the tailbone up, just the tailbone, keeping your low back into the floor. Take one more breath. Finish your exhale, press. Now inhale, relax. Relax your feet, arms. Allow your low back to come away. And exhale, hug again. Hug your low back, hug the navel, feet, shoulders and arms, and inhale, tailbone lifts a little higher. Firm your feet, shoulders, press. Take another breath. Finish your exhale. Inhale, slowly release. Let your low back come away. Relax your arms. Exhale, hug. You know what to do. Hug all. Inhale, lift the tailbone a little higher. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, release your back, relax. Exhale, hug. Inhale, keep pressing down as you lift a little higher, hips and thighs. Exhale, roll slowly down. Inhale, relax, release, back comes away. Exhale, hug one more time. Inhale, lift, tailbone, hips, thighs. Keep drawing your shoulders down and hold here. Firming your feet. Firming shoulders, arms, and palms. Continue just to hold and breathe. The way
waking up a lot of muscles here. Take a couple more breaths. Very important muscles as we focus on poses that are going to help build strength. And this strength is going to help with posture and also balance. One more breath. Finish your exhale. And slowly roll back down as you inhale. Take your time. And then relax here. As you relax, just bring your lower back into the floor as you bring your right and left thigh into your chest, and relax the back as you hug your thighs in. And you can even rock side to side. And come to the center of your spine and bringing your feet back to your mat. And you're going to straighten the right leg and you're going to straighten the left leg. All right, so both legs are straight, resting on the floor, and your arms are going to come by your side body, palms down to start with. I'm just going to pause here, noticing again the natural curves of your lower back. So there's a standing yoga pose you're all familiar with called mountain pose. Mountain pose, you're just simply standing. So we're going to take it, recline, as you can see, and just awareness of the head again. You again remember the head. You don't want the chin to be too low or lifting up, so make that adjustment. So imagine you're standing and your head is balancing on top of your spine. All right. You're going to begin with imagining you're pressing your feet into the floor. So press your feet forward, pressing through the heels. You've got a soft flex in the feet. So it's again, you just imagine your feet are pressing down, so you've got the bend of each foot, and engaging, imagine the toe mound. So the big toe, little toe mound are pressing against the floor, right? And the back of the thighs are pressing against the floor. All right, if that's not comfortable, keep a little bend in the knees, but your legs are straight, right? And you feel the energy in the legs. Breathe, don't hold the breath. All right, so noticing again the connection of your hips, right? And the low back coming natural curve there. You don't want to overarch. You don't want to press your low back. It's a natural curve, right? Where do you notice where you touch the mid back, where you all of a sudden there's the connection of the floor, and you're going up the back, and then you come, there's no connection. There's the natural curve of your neck, the cervical spine, right? And then the back of the head. Now your shoulders. Notice them. Notice the sensation of the back of the shoulders, and see if you can take your shoulders a little closer to the floor. So use your muscle energy, press your shoulders against the floor, right? Just gently, but notice the arms are lightly pressing against the floor, and you're going to turn your palms inward for a moment toward your thighs, and then you're going to open your palms to the ceiling. Imagine the top of the shoulders are moving a little further back towards the floor. So imagine the top of the shoulders are rolling up and over back towards the floor. It's a little outward rotation of the shoulders by opening the palms. Just notice that. Now bring your palms back in towards your thighs, right? And lengthen your fingertips towards your feet. Mountain pose. Breathe. Take a nice breath in, and as you inhale, imagine you're lengthening the spine, right? As you exhale, try to just soften, so create that balance. It's a little effort here. And we're going to move the arms. Now, we're going to take the right arm first, so lengthening the right fingertips, and slowly bring your right arm up and over, comfortably for you by the side of the head. Comfortably for you by the side of the head. If that's not comfortable, then you will adjust, bend the elbow. Maybe the arm only comes 3/4 of the way up. Maybe you need to go out just a little bit to the side. So whatever is overhead for you. Now lengthen through the right fingertips and a little bit more through the right leg. Take another breath. And then exhale, bring your arm back by your side and change the left arm up and over. And again, we can be completely different on size, right? Right arm and left arm might not look at all alike. Make sure you're not changing any part of your spine. It's still just as it was. Now lengthen a little bit more through the left fingertips and the right foot. Take another breath. And then exhale, come back down. And we're going to move with the breath. So listen to the rhythm of your breath, and on the inhale, bring your arms up and over for you that's comfortable by the side of the head, and exhale back down. And continue this. Inhale the arms up. Exhale back down. Just creating this movement. Careful the shoulders aren't moving up towards the ears. Keep them away from the ears. Just moving in the shoulder joint, right? And we'll take a couple more. Inhale up and over by the side of the head. Exhale down. So please listen, modify, listen to your options. Inhale up. Now the next one, we're going to lift and hold. So as you come up and hold, we oftentimes take this standing pose. You're imagining pressing your feet into the floor, your arms are up and comfortably for you by the side of the head, and you're lengthening. And we're going to hold here. And if I hold too long, you will know what to do. You're going to come out. So that's very important. Because today I'm going to hold poses a little longer. Remember, by holding, we build strength. And if this gets to be too much, you just simply come out and then maybe pause for a couple breaths and then come back. And that's how we're going to work the pose today. Takes us a few more breaths. Okay, last one. Inhale. Exhale, bring your arms back down by your side. And relax the shoulders. Nice. And bend your knees. Take one at a time. Just bend them and bring them a little closer to the hips. And relax your shoulders. One more movement here. We're going to come back to our bridge pose and focus on a little more strength of the back of the thighs and the glutes, the buttocks, all right? And core strength, of course. So just allow the shoulders to relax as you lengthen your fingertips towards your feet again, and bring your arms out and palms down. So the arms can help with stability, but I want your stability to come from your core. Take a full breath in. Exhale, hug the navel to the spine, all right? And your low back slowly presses towards the floor, and hold for a couple breaths. Bring your feet just a little closer together. Firm your feet. Just like we did before, inhale, leading with the tailbone. You slowly come up, not too high, and pause here. Shoulders press firmly into the floor. Focus on your core strength. Shift your weight over to the right foot and pick your left foot up off the floor. Now, if this is challenging for you, simply roll back down and take this movement on your back. You know that. We've taken this many times, but if you're new to my class, please listen. If this is not available, listen to my options. And another option is just to simply come out and not do it. So as you focus on the strength of your core to keep your pelvis stable, breathe. Couple more breaths. Focusing on your right foot firmly pressing, and bring more weight into the heel. And slowly lift your hips a little higher up, just an inch or two. And now lower with your breath. Exhale, firm down and lift the hips and lower. So you can do this movement with both feet on the floor if one is not available, right? Lift an inch or two, not too high, and lower. One more time, lift and hold. If it's available, you're going to straighten the leg so the leg is somewhat parallel to the floor. If this is too challenging, lift it a little higher. The lower, yes, if it's somewhat parallel, that's definitely more challenging. We're focusing on the deep hip flexor muscle that we're strengthening here, and also obviously strengthening that right hip, glute, and hamstring. A couple more breaths. Come out, please. Remember I said I'm going to hold things just a little longer today to build awareness of strength, and if anything bothers you in a joint, you know to come out, right? We're focusing on muscle strength to support the joints. One more breath. Finish your exhale and bend the knee. Bring your foot down and slowly roll. Keep breathing as you come back down. Nice, and relax. You can just bring now your right thigh into the chest for the stretch, and pause here, relaxing your low back. Circle the foot while we relax these muscles that we just strengthened, and reverse the circle, just focusing on this ankle joint. Nice, slow. Take your time. No hurry, please. And now keeping just a little soft flex of the foot, you're going to bring your hands on the back of your right thigh and slowly begin to straighten. Doesn't need to be straight. I'm just going to say slowly begin to straighten. And reach up to the ceiling as if you want to touch your toes. Not a point, but the bottom of the toes up to the ceiling. Now press the back of your thigh against your hands. You can either interlace or one hand above and below the other, or just one hand on the back of the thigh if you'd like. So just be able to bring a hand right in the back of the thigh. So as you press your hands against the thigh and the thigh against your hands, you just want to just gently begin to straighten if you can. I want you to bring your low back away from the floor, back to a natural curve. And if you can't completely straighten the leg, that's okay. Hold here for a couple breaths to stretch this muscle. So be gentle. We're going to do more stretching of the hamstring, but right now we just want to focus on this nice pose on the back so we can focus on, one, the alignment of this pose. We're not doing anything changing our spine. We want to keep a natural position of our pelvis as we lengthen up through the toe mounds. And now I'm going to slowly bring your toes down, so a little deeper stretch on the back of the calf and Achilles, lengthening up through the heel. And now back up, lengthening up through the toe mounds for another couple breaths. If the leg is straight, yes, you can use your hands to draw your straight leg towards you, but careful not to bring your lower back into the floor. Just another breath or two. If you need to bend the knee, please do. Nothing felt on the back of the knee. One more breath. And exhale, back thigh into the chest, and release your foot back to your mat. All right, so arms back by your side, out a bit. Let's take all this on the other side as you adjust your feet in towards your hips and a little close together. And they're not touching, but they're close. It helps with balance. So take a full breath, but exhale, hug the navel to the spine and your low back towards the floor, and hold that for a couple breaths. So feel the strength of your core. Shoulders press. Feet press. Inhale, slowly lift the hips. Shift your weight over to the left foot. Firm your left foot, bringing more weight into the heel as you prick your right foot up off the floor. It's not very high, but just enough. And keeping a little flex in the foot, just the toe lifts a little bit. Now firming the left foot, and we begin to move. Again, awareness of your strength of your core, and remember, you can always just move with both feet pressing, right? Here we go. On the exhalation, hips lift an inch or two and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And continue slowly with your breath. So focus on the same rhythm of your breath that you practiced earlier, right? It's when we practice at the beginning of the class to establish that nice fullness of the breath and completeness of the breath. Couple more. Last two. Feel the strength of your core helping you keep your pelvis stable. Hold as you lift. If it's available, straighten the leg. You can also take this on your back. I know this can be challenging as you press through the heel, as if you're pressing your foot into the floor, right? A little higher if you need to. Just simply come onto the back, and you can still lift that leg and still gain the benefits of building the strength in that hip flexor on the right side. Another couple breaths, bringing that weight back into the heel. Shoulders are pressing to help with stability, but also awareness of the upper back engaging. One more breath. Finish your exhale. Inhale, bend, release your foot, and roll back down. Just keep breathing. And once you're there, keep your lower back pressing as your left thigh comes in. As you hug and release your back, circle the foot slowly. And reverse. Nice work as we begin to keep a soft flex in the foot, and the hands come on the back of the thigh and straighten the left leg as we focus on lengthening the left hamstring. And once again, just reaching up through the toe mounds, meaning the toes are reaching up like you want to be on your toes, standing on your toes on the ceiling. And begin to just say hello to the lower back coming away if it's not already there. Natural curve. And deepen your breath. You want to use this power of the exhalation here to relax this muscle. So we know that tight hamstrings, this muscle we're stretching, right, can affect our posture big time. Yeah, it really can. So if we've been sitting a lot, that does affect this muscle too, so it tends to shorten it. It does. So maybe this is a big stretch for you right now. So we're going to come back to it standing later. So we're going to keep working on this important muscle that affects our posture. So just take another couple breaths. I'm going to offer you to bring your toe down and your heel up for just increase that awareness of the back of the calf and back of the ankle. And now reach back up through the toe mounds for another couple breaths and just see if you can straighten that leg. If it is straight, then you see if you can bring the leg a little closer towards you with the help of the hands without changing your pelvis. One more breath. Nice. Lower back presses now as your thigh comes in. Join the right with the left. Release your back and rock side to side. And keep rocking until this motion brings you over to your right side and come on up. Come on up to all fours. All right, tabletop. So if you need support, you had that towel, you just add it. It can go underneath the knees if you need it. If wrists, as you know, at any time bother you, you come down to the forearms. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders. This is another option. So find what works best for you. Knees under hips. And as you firm the arms, shoulders away from the ears, feel the crown of the head lengthening forward and the tailbone back. So notice the natural curves. We're going to move the spine a little more. As you know, this is a great pose to help with posture. Take a full breath in. As you exhale from your pelvis, tailbone down, use your core strength to help you arch up. Release your head and hold here. Firm the arms, either forearms or palms. Take another breath, and let's begin moving with the breath. Inhale from your pelvis, tailbone back and up. Relax your belly down. Shoulders away from the ears, heart forward, slight lift of the head. Exhale, arch right back up into your cat pose. Inhale, we call this, cow pose. Continue with your breath. Importance of keeping our spine fluid is right here in this pose. Why I like it so much, because this is the pose where we really begin to notice where we might find it more challenging to move, right? Because we want to move along the spine. It's not one big movement. It's a gradual movement, an undulation. So just awareness of that for these last two. Again, beginning with your pelvis, slowly moving along your spine. The last piece, slight lift of the head, then your pelvis begins the movement. And the last piece is your head releasing, and we're going to hold here. Inhale back into tabletop. Everyone down to the forearms. Everyone down to the forearms. Elbows right underneath your shoulders for a moment. As you say hello to some movement in the shoulders. So again, knees under hips. We're going to maintain that lift of the belly, navel up to the spine. And that might just slightly drop the tailbone. If you can't feel that, just a slight movement of the tailbone down. So I want the pelvis to be stable. All right, the pelvis to be stable. There's many options here. If you have any shoulder issues and this bothers you, you're going to go ahead and just opt out of this and come onto the belly and just rest. Otherwise, we're going to focus on building upper body strength and maintain core strength. So as we relax the chest towards the floor, we want to only feel that movement in the upper part of the torso, a sense of release between the shoulder blades. So your chest drops and your shoulder blades come closer into the spine. Exhale, lift your chest away from the floor by pressing your forearms firmly down. Keep the neck long and alternate with your breath. Exhale, chest releases, and then lift. So I meant to say, inhale, chest releases. Exhale, chest lifts. Keep it going. It's our little sewing machine. Down and up with your breath. So this might be just what you do here to build, again, awareness and strength. Yes, you are in your upper body by focusing. and using the muscles in the shoulder, you're going to lift and hold. This is another option, and just hold, firming your forearms. Feel the elbows, yes, palms pressed. Keep the navel lifting. Hold here. Stay as long as you like. This is one option for forearm plank. The other option is to walk the knees back. Curl the toes under and hold. Keep the navel in, tailbone scoop. The other option, of course, is the full forearm plank, and that's the knees up. Press your heels back. Wherever you are, be mindful of your strength. Core, upper body. Knees down, please, is a great option because you're still maintaining all the awareness of that strength. So knees up only if that feels comfortable. So be mindful. I'm going to hold a little longer. Remember, come out, knees down, and then maybe come back. Or please simply come onto the belly. All right, so whenever you're ready, let's take a couple more breaths, or when you're ready, roll carefully through your thighs. So I'm going to leave this up to you as you come onto the belly when you're ready. Stack your hands and relax your shoulders. So today I'm doing just that. I'm going to leave this up to you when to come out and how long it's best for you to stay. Remember, nothing felt in a joint. You're feeling the strength of these muscles working. And now relax. So the opposite. Just relax those muscles. So as you stack your hands, relax your shoulders. Let's focus on strengthening the upper back. These are great poses, and they do just that. Build strength, which helps with our posture. So as you press your arms down and lift your forehead up, you're on the tops of the feet. They're pressing. Slowly lift your arms up off the floor. Keep the hands stacked, and you're holding. Might not be very high. And take it just a couple times. Just wake these muscles up. Take one more breath. And exhale, release. Everything comes down, arms, forehead rest, and relax. Okay. So when we begin, we want to activate now the legs as the tops of the feet press. All right. Arms press. You come away, forehead, chest, up just slightly. Arms lift. Both of them up. Once again, keep your hands stacked. We really want to focus right on those upper back muscles. Breathe. Take another breath. Stay longer if you like. When you're ready, simply come out. Remember, keep your hands stacked once again and relax. One more time. One more time. Here we go. Press your arms down. Forehead comes up. Tops of the feet press. And arms come up. Now I'm going to hold here just for a breath. And then slowly separate your arms out to the cactus arms. Elbows right out from the shoulders, arms at a right angle. See if you can lift those arms a little higher. Now you feel a little more of a muscles in the more mid-back maybe working. Keep the back of the neck long. Breathe. Nice work, everyone. I wish I could see you, but I know you're doing well. Take another couple breaths. Once again, just simply come out if you're ready. And exhale, arms come down, turn the head, and relax. All right, you're going to just lift your elbows off the floor. Palms slide back just a little bit. They're wide. So if you're in that cactus arms and you lift your elbows up, you're not going to change your hands coming in, but you're just going to slide them back. But you can adjust, so find what works for you. But your hands are wide. You're looking down, you're firming the palms, and you're pulling them back, but you're not sliding the hands now. You're pulling them back to bring your crown of the head forward, press down through the tops of the feet, moving the tailbone down. You're going to slowly come up to a very gentle baby cobra, right? A little back bend here, and then roll back down. This move of the breath. Inhale, lengthen, curl up. And curl down, just like when we were moving our spine on our back. We want to focus on this gradual movement. We're not just popping up, we're rolling up. With your breath, inhale. Just like we were doing in a cat-cow. 2 more. Find it a little easier even on wrist when our hands are wide. Come up and hold. Shoulders away from the ear. Back bend. Maybe you're not as high as me. You don't need to be looking at me, but just whatever's comfortable for you. Hold for another couple breaths. And now we're going to slowly release and lift our hands off the floor. So you're going to come down to the point when you come up off the hands off the floor. You're going to catch yourself with those strong back muscles. Back to the cactus arms. Hold. As you hold here, bring your arms by your side, palms are down, and keep the shoulders lifting away. Another 2 breaths. Remember, you can stay longer. But I'm going to have you, when you're ready, you can come out. Just turn your head and relax. Nice work. And with your head center, shoulders away from the floor, just pause here, your palms are down. Tops of feet are pressing. Bring your hands behind the back and interlace. Keep the elbows slightly bent. Hug your shoulder blades together and focus on the stretch on the front of the shoulders. So our first big stretch to the front of the shoulders, so just focus on that for a moment. One more breath. Exhale, release, and bring your hands stacked to rest your forehead. And relax your shoulders a moment as we focus on lifting the legs. And then we'll add these movements together in locust. So as we relax the upper body, press down through the tops of feet. Exhale, lift the belly and draw the tailbone down. Inhale, right leg lifts. Take a couple breaths. Exhale, release, change sides. All right, it's not a big lift, as you know. Exhale, release. Either one at a time, hold for a couple breaths, or when you're ready, keep that belly lifted, tailbone down, both legs lift. Last couple breaths. Make sure you're lifting from the inner thighs and you're not rotating outward. So the tops of the feet are looking down. The heels are not in, toes are not out. So just check on that. Feel that inner thigh lift. One more breath. Exhale, release. Nice. Arms by your side. Let's begin with our palms up and then we'll move them down. So as your shoulders lift away from the floor, arms somewhat by your side, inhale, lift the torso. Okay. When you feel ready, inhale, lift the legs. The shoulders lifting away, lengthening the fingertips towards your feet. Nice. Another couple breaths. Exhale, release. Maybe turn the head the other direction and bring your palms down and relax. You can stay here or we'll take it again one more time. Head center. Actually, I'm going to have your hands come behind the back. If you'd rather not, just keep them arms by your side. But if you'd like, if it's comfortable for you, you're going to first, with the tops of the feet pressing, draw the belly up, tailbone down. Inhale, hug your shoulder blades as your upper arms come in without locking your elbows. Hold. Inhale, lift the legs. You can unlace and palms are down this time. Keep the back of the neck long. Breath flowing. Remember, come out if you need to. Otherwise, you can stay longer. Take another couple breaths. You can do it. Last one. Exhale, release. Stack your hands once again. Rest your forehead. And allow the heels actually just to release off to the side. It's not as comfortable here in the low back. Maybe feel that release as your upper body too releases. Smooth out the breath. And now drawing you over to the side, bring your knees in and come on up nice and slow. If you want to stay longer on your belly, please do. And we're going to come up to the knees and sit back towards the heels in a counter pose called child's pose. If that's not comfortable to the knees, roll onto your back and bring your thighs into your chest, okay? Otherwise, you can stack your hands or rest your forehead here. Relax your back. A lot of good work. I know we've been on our back or certainly down on the floor for a while, but guess what? We're getting ready to come up to standing. So when you're ready, if you need something to help you up, you'll use it. Otherwise, my suggestion, I like to just bring one foot forward, back toe under, because I want to think about my back, my spine. I don't want to round the back to come up. Keep the back straight. Use your hands on your thighs or use the wall or your chair. As you come on up. And we're up. Yes. So let's come into standing mountain pose. All right. We're going to check our feet. They should be comfortably apart. You know, whatever feels good for you for balance. But what's important here is the feet, the position. So heels generally behind the middle toes versus behind the big toe. So look down. Yep, okay. I might even have you lift the toes. That lifts the insteps, because sometimes we roll into that inner ankle. So lift the insteps. Now relax the toes, a little more weight onto the heels is nice. Firm the feet. Feel the heaviness of the tailbone, right? Let's take a shoulder roll. So the tailbone, we're not tucking. We're just feeling a sense of release downward, right? We want to inhale. And now as we take this last exhale, lengthen your fingertips, open the palm. Remember we did this on the floor. Just lengthening the fingertips, opening the palms, feel the shoulders roll back, but the broadness here across the collarbone, right? And the palms fall back. So legs are firm, we're not locking a joint. Careful if you have that tendency to feel that joint kind of lock and you hyperextend. We don't want that. So, and I tend to do that. So I have to really make sure I'm not doing that. So I have to really firm the muscles against the bone in my legs. I don't want to just be relaxed. I want to press down through the feet, up through the crown of the head. So before we do a little bit more work with this particular pose, it might seem like, oh, what are we going to do? Well, you'll see in here in just a moment. But imagine that your back is against the floor. Okay. Just imagine. So your shoulders are pressing against the floor. Back of your thighs are moving against the floor. Your feet pressing, right? Top of the head up. You know, don't want to lift the chin too high. No, yeah. We're going to move with the breath. Remember how on the floor we brought our arms straight up? We're going to do that. Inhale. We don't want the shoulders up. Keep them down. And then exhale. You know, whatever felt good to you. Remember, one arm might look different than the other. Up and down. We're not changing anything. Firm the feet. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more. Each time you lift, feet press down. Lengthening up. 2 more. Nice. Hold overhead. Drop your shoulders, firm the feet. We're going to hold. So just notice if the hips have come forward a little bit or if the lower ribs have come forward, so draw them back. Firm the feet. 3 more breaths. You can just bring just a slight awareness upward with your eyes, perfectly fine, because that sort of brings that little more awareness of upward, right? You're trying to touch the ceiling. Again, say hello to the feet. Make sure the insteps haven't collapsed. A little more weight into the heels. Equal weight, right and left. We're building strength as we hold. Might not feel like it, but you are. If I stayed here for another few moments, I think you would notice. So take another breath, inhale, and then exhale back down. Shake out the arms. Open your right palm. Inhale the arm up, left hand to your hip, over for a side stretch. Directly to the side. Feel the strength of your core if you're going to lengthen the left fingertips down. Otherwise, keep your hand right here. Take another breath. Inhale up, exhale, release. Change sides. Inhale, drop the shoulder. If it's come up, come over directly to the side. Strength if you're going to release the right. Nothing in the back. The more the outer edge of your left foot firmly pressing. One more breath. Finish your exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's move with the breath. Let's roll the shoulders just to check in, right? Open the palms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Firm the feet. Nice. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Hold at the top. Palms together. Chair pose. Exhale. All right. Focus on the shoulders. They're back and away from the ears. Open the arms out to the cactus arms. Elbows out. Or back, I should say. Arms are back. Careful you're not coming forward. Stay lifted from the front, right? Check in on those knees. They're moving directly over the middle toes. And there's strength in the core. Brings that awareness of the tailbone lengthening down. So we don't want to overarch the back. So a couple more breaths. And again, we're just going to bring those arms back a little further. If you can. Feel those upper back muscles working. A couple more breaths. Again, I'm going to hold this a little longer. And how, what I call work the pose is, if this is too much, you might just change, come up a little bit. And that releases a little bit of those quadriceps, thighs working, and then you come back. Arms get tired, maybe bring your hands here for a moment, take a breath, and then come back, right? So that's what we do. Come out for a little bit, a breath or two, and then come back. See what happens. We're going to try that today. I know you'll do that, right? Okay. Take another breath. See if you can bend a little deeper. Finish your exhale, push the floor away, stretch up. Exhale, release. Hands behind the back. Small lift of the shoulders, roll back, hug your shoulder blades, focus on the stretch. Arms stay close, but you don't want to lock the elbow. Little bend. Careful you're not drawing your hips forward. Now move the arms away. Hug again if you can. If you can move the arms away. If you can't, that's fine. But if you can, try it. Again, careful that you don't go too far and the shoulders roll forward. They're rolling back, right? Top of your shoulders rolling back. Let's build that strength again. Unlace and hold the extension if you can. Even if you're down here, you're working those upper back muscles. A couple more breaths. There are many ways to work these muscles. You don't have to come onto the belly like we did a moment ago with that pose we call locust. You can do it standing, just what we're doing here. So you can do this yourself. Now as you hold this, rotate your shoulders and open the palms outward. Thumbs will be up. Palms are out. Thumbs up. Another breath, and then relax. Shake. Roll. Good work. All right, we're going to come to the wall or a chair. My wall's here. I'd have my back to you. Otherwise, I'd use the wall. You can have your back to me. That's okay. But I'm going to use a chair. My chair is going to be on my mat so it won't slide. If you have a chair that's not real sturdy and you don't have a mat, then I'd rather you find a wall or a sturdy chair, or it can be a table. Yeah. It can be shelving, and whatever, is a comfortable height for you, right? If you, just pretend this is my wall, but I'm going to show you with the wall, we're going to step back and extend the arms, nice shoulder stretch, but also hamstring stretch. So somewhat the height of your lower ribs. So that would be about right here for me. And then remember, you bend the knees and then you push the wall away, as you know, and step back. So I'm going to show you on the chair. I'm going to press down on the chair, little bend in the knees, and step back, right? And then I'm going to come into a half forward bend. So if this is too much stretch in the back of the legs, you widen the legs, right? You're not feeling much stretch, bring your feet closer together. All right. So we're going to come for a couple more breaths here and just extend through the arms, extend through the side, and release your chest down. So this is a nice alternative to downward facing dog. It takes the weight off the hands. We don't need to put a lot of pressure on the wrists right now. We're not focusing. I know some of you like down dog. You can take, I'll show you, we'll do that in a moment, an alternative. If you would like to take a variation of down dog, and if you want to take down dog, of course you can. Right now, this is just a half forward bend. We're going to start here. Nice way to create length and release in the shoulders from all we've done in our strengthening of the upper body. Again, focusing on the sit bones moving back, a slight lift of the tailbone up. It's not really feeling like it's moving, it's just awareness of keeping that low back nice and straight. Feeling your feet firmly press. One more breath. Exhale. Now listen, you're simply going to come up just a little bit and you're going to take a big step forward with your right foot. Now your hands are on the wall or your hands are pressing down on the chair. You're going to pivot on that back foot, left toe, warrior one. All right, so as you press the whole back foot, left foot into the floor, particularly the outer edge, so just feel that foot pressing. If you find that's hard to bring the whole foot to the floor, bring your foot in a bit. Bend your right knee, bring the top of the head up, shoulders back. If you need to hold on, you will. Otherwise, your arms come by your side. We're going to take this a little differently, all right? So we're going to move with this, and then we're going to hold, all right? So we're going to come back to the cactus arms. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see, all right? So our knees are bent, or the front knee is bent, the outer edge of your back foot firmly pressing. We're back into the cactus arms we were a moment ago. Bring those arms back, feel the upper back moving or working. And then as you take an exhale, you're going to straighten the right leg and bring your arms in. You're going to feel the strength of the core. Draw the navel back and your arms come in and focus like you're pressing something in. Now, if this is not available, you need to hold on. You will, and you'll just do one arm, right? Or your hand, you can turn sideways and you're holding on to the wall with one, and you can do it sideways, right? Where the outer leg is knees bent and the leg closest to the wall is extended back. Warrior one. Please be mindful. So as we bend the front knee, take a full breath in, inhale, arms back. Exhale, straighten the front leg, hug. Inhale, open, chest lifts. Exhale, hug, firm the right foot. Inhale, left foot firms. Here we go. Exhale, hug. Nice. Inhale, open. Exhale, hug. Couple more. Inhale, open. Exhale, hug. Hold here. 3 breaths. You feel a stretch here on the front of the thigh. If not, think about lengthening down through the tailbone a little more maybe. Shoulders, careful they're not creeping up to the ears, but draw back. Take another breath. Now listen, exhale, straighten the front leg and release your arms and bring your hands to the top of the pelvis. So we're going to take a pose that stretches the hamstring. I'll call a deeper stretch of this right hamstring. So we're going to move our pelvis. We're going to bend forward like we did a moment ago, but I like to start with a little bend of the knee. Take your tailbone back and up as you begin to bend. You can almost feel your pelvis, beneath your hands, right? Then you pause. Straighten the legs, firm your feet. If you can bend a little further without, rounding the back, right? So you don't want to round the back to get there. Back is straight, right? You come to that place that feels good to you. Hands on the chair, works great. Hands on the wall, so turn and face the wall if you need those hands. Sometimes they help because it truly gives that feeling, that stability, so you can focus on this really important stretch, right? Hamstring. Now, if you have balance here, this is what we're working on, balance. If you can take your hands up away, that's one option. Maybe one hand needs to stay, and the other arm can come back and reach back. Like we did a moment ago, palm opens, roll the shoulder back. The other option is you can interlace and open, roll both shoulders back. So we've been here a lot today. Little bend in the elbow, just don't want to lock that joint. Check on those knees too. Maybe you can go a little further. Maybe this is where you are. Keep the back of the neck long. 3 focused breaths. Focusing on these important postures that help build strength, back, core, and also helps to open and lengthen these muscles that can be so tight on us, hamstrings, front of the shoulders, right? Another breath.
Now either with or without hands on chair or wall, but if you can, firm the feet and keep your hands interlaced and you come up. Focus on a spot, helps with balance. Roll your shoulders back, lift up to the front of the body, slight lift of the eyes if you'd like. And exhale, release. Bring your back foot up, left to meet the right. Take a breath, roll your shoulders, and we'll change sides and step back with the right. Warrior one to start with, bending your left knee. So check the feet, heel to heel alignment, or walk maybe the left foot out just a little bit so you're a little wider between the 2 feet. Will help with balance. So as your right hip comes forward, keep the outer edge of your right foot firmly pressing. Left knee over the ankle, notice that. Top of the head up. Here we go back to cactus arms, and we'll move. We're going to move and then hold. So once again, take a full breath in. As you exhale, firm the left foot, draw the navel in, arms squeeze in, and now inhale, open. Exhale, hug. Inhale, open. Now remember, if you need the wall or chair, when you turn the other way with one hand on the wall and you're just doing one arm, right? Exhale, inhale, couple more, exhale, inhale. I feel those upper back muscles working, and exhale, and now hold. Couple more breaths. Nice, last one. Exhale, release, straighten your front leg, and pause here, maybe a shoulder roll. As we prepare now with your hands either on your pelvis, right, or on the chair. So a little bend in the knees, lengthen first, and then as you keep a little bend in the knees to begin to bend from your hips, tailbone back, and it goes up. Pause. Okay, firm the legs, lengthen through the spine, moving further into the forward bend if it's available. Hands stay on the chair. Behind you, interlace. Maybe change your interlace. We're such creatures of habit. We go to that same interlace. Change it. Yeah. And hug. All right. Keep the awareness of the breath, and your eyes may be focused on the spot to help with balance. So maintain the strength of your core. Really does help with balance. Yeah. Okay, just a couple more breaths. Holding truly helps to build the strength. If you feel muscles shaking, that's your cue to come out. Watch. Both legs are working hard. Don't overlook the back leg here. The right, foot's firmly pressing. Front foot's pressing. Hands or no hands. Find what's best for you as you inhale and come out. Roll your shoulders back. Lengthen up through the front. Maybe a slight lift of the eyes if you can. One more breath. Exhale, release. Bring your back foot up to swing the front, meet the front. Yeah, left, and roll your shoulders. Nice work. All right, if you'd like to go a little further into this final pose, a forward bend. I prefer not to go into a full rounded back forward bend. I like to take the use of a chair and take this modified downward dog to focus on my hamstrings. It's a great stretch again for our shoulders. If you prefer to take a forward bend, you can release on a chair. This final pose before we come down to the floor is going to be what feels best to you. You can go back to wall press. Okay, I'm going to show you the option on the chair. So you can look at it and then you can go to a chair. Make sure it's definitely stable, sturdy, and not wobbly. It can be also on a lower table. So lots of options here. So starting with your feet just a little bit wider. If you want to take that full downward dog, that's up to you. A little bend. Inhale, bending from your hips. My hands come to the chair. I'm going to hold on to the outer edge. Coming around to the outer part of the chair. Hold on. And then I'm going to step back and press the hips back. I'm going to keep my knees bent for a moment to take the tailbone up. So I want to really feel that tailbone lifting up, and then I firm the heels down.
If it's too much, widen the feet. You can bring your feet a little closer if you like, but they're not together. This is our modified down dog as you relax your chest towards the floor, releasing the head. So nice final stretch, shoulders and hamstrings. If you want to take a little more forward bend, but you want to be supported and you want the back to be straight, a chair again, table, whatever is, you can rest your head. This is a nice release as you pause here, relax the shoulders. I like this particularly. The head is below the heart somewhat, and it's a nice way to begin to slow your practice down. So find what works for you. We'll take 5 focused breaths. So focus now, what's best. Come out if you need to. We're going to come down to the floor, so when you're ready, that's where you'll go. Nice gentle full breath in. Use your exhalations to begin to send the message. It's time to slow down, to soften. Relax your shoulders. Final stretch of the hamstrings. Release your back. This is a time just to relax the back if you're in a supported forward bend. Last breath. So wherever you are, use your support, or you bring one foot forward to come down to the knees. And you're going to find your way coming onto your back. So bring your head support in. Bring your head support in and come onto your back. Once you're on your back, bring your thighs into your chest and hug them in. Nice work, everyone. Just rock side to side. We're going to take a twist from all our nice back bending and our strengthening of our back muscles to safely stretch them in this reclined spinal twist. Some of you know that pose, so just listen if you don't. You're going to bring your feet to the mat, to your floor, and straighten just the right leg. And by pressing your left foot into the floor, lift your hips and move the hips just a little bit to the left, because you're going to twist to the right. You're going to roll onto your outer right hip, bring your left foot off the floor and rest it on the inner right thigh. So the left foot just rests on the inner right thigh. I sometimes like use the back of my, take my toe and just rest it on the back of the right knee. Now you can take your right hand and rest it on the outer left thigh, just to guide your thigh across the body. You want to make sure your right shoulder stays away from the ear, and press your right shoulder blade into the mat. Your left palm is open. Your left shoulder is pressing. You can bend the elbow a little bit if you'd like, and you can turn the head in that direction if you'd like, or keep the head center. So you can look to the left as you're twisting to the right, or head center. Now wherever you are, take the breath and breathe fully. Exhale completely. So not only you're twisting those muscles, stretching them in the back, but also internally as you breathe deep, you feel the compression in the belly, right? Yep, organs, the diaphragm pressing against the organs, and it's a nice massage internally. Let's take a couple more breaths. Last one. And when you're ready, coming out, and using your foot to bring your hips back center, and bend your right and straighten the left. Moving your hips to the right, roll onto the outer edge of your left hip, and same thing over here as your right palm open. Maybe you can bend the elbow, but your arm wants to be connected to the floor. So you just find what works for you as your shoulder blade on your right presses firmly into the floor. You could turn the head to the right or keep the head center. There's your breath. Doing all the work. best you can, just be right here now as we slow again the practice to a point that we're at that place where we're working towards that final pose. So just at this point you might just think about, before we come out, what would be best? What does your body feel like it needs? Maybe legs elevated above the heart, over a chair, up the wall. Might be there's a couple pillows nearby and you'd like to support underneath the back of the knees, or bring the soles of the feet together and support the outer thighs in cobbler pose. Take another breath here. Now release. Shift your hip center, and one more time, lower back to the floor, thighs into the chest for a nice hug, knees apart, and rock side to side. So today we certainly focused on strengthening and lengthening, right? We didn't do any hip, what we call hip opening, but I like to just pause here on the center of our spine. And if you are going to take your legs up the wall, go ahead and move towards the wall. If you're going to stay right where you are, or if you need to go grab pillows, do so. But we're going to just take when you're ready, come to that place, you're going to take your legs apart and then just bring your arms inside the legs. You can go ahead and do that, or go ahead and get yourself near the wall. But you want to just allow the hips to open a little bit here. Arms can rest inside if that's comfortable. Relax your shoulders. We're going to come into cobbler pose. And then you might like to stay in cobbler pose in a supported fashion. But let's just bring the soles of the feet together as you hold onto the feet, ankles, and draw the feet towards you and your thighs away from you for a couple breaths. If you want to do anything else, another stretch, the happy baby pose. If you want to do the pose there, it's called where put the foot on the thigh and bring the thigh in. Just whatever, if you want to do that, that's fine. But we're coming close to the end of our time, our practice, so do what feels good to you as you can bring your thighs back in. And again, take your legs up over the chair, up the wall, or soles of feet together and support your outer hips and thighs with your pillows. Or allow the pillows to be underneath the backs of the knees, or straighten the legs out. So wherever you are, just come to a place of stillness where you can be completely comfortable with your breath, returning to where you began in your practice. With your eyes softly closed, maybe take a swallow or two, and then relaxing facial muscles, jaw. Notice the breath as it enters through the nostrils, and lengthening your exhalations, gentle inhalations. It's nice to come to this place where there's, in the moment I'm going to be quiet, where there's silence, where there's a place that you can just maybe find that you can visualize yourself to be comfortable, secure. We've been inside a lot, and maybe we're missing our river house or the beach, the mountain home, whatever. Maybe you've got plans to go there, but you haven't gotten there yet, and you're just longing to be there. Maybe, just knowing that we will get back to maybe some normalcy, but I think it's going to be a while. But this uncertainty takes its toll on us, both mentally and physically. I hope today's practice certainly helped releasing any tightness, tension, but awareness, once again, the importance of your posture. And with that now, I want you just to take these words that I'm going to read to you, and the word is silence.
And I'm going to bring awareness to the acronym that I'm going to read to you, and just see if you can maybe pick something out that speaks to you and stay with it in these next few moments. So S, still the mind, quiet the mind, relax the mind, just focus on what speaks to you, the breath, the sensation certainly helps. I inhale peace. Maybe that speaks to you. Each breath in, repeat peace. L, let go of worries. I know that's hard. Do the best you can. I like this quote, worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles, it takes away today's peace. E, exhale stress. Inhale peace, exhale stress. I like that mantra. N, notice the breath. It's always with you. You find yourself bombarded with worries, having a hard time sleeping, just bring yourself to the breath. Notice the breath. C, connect. Connect to all. Connect to family, to friends. Importance to stay connected. E, embrace. Embrace gratitude. We have a lot to be thankful for. That's one that I find very helpful. Silence. The next few moments. And when I bring you out, if you want to stay in this pose, please do. Let's be here for a few more moments. Lengthening your exhalations, gentle, effortless inhalations. So again, please stay longer. If you're ready to come out, take time, just move a little bit, fingers and toes. Thighs into the chest when you're ready. Rock. Eventually over to one side and hold. Take your time when you're ready, coming up. Again, keeping your eyes closed, come up to a comfortable seated posture, sitting tall, hands on thighs opened. A couple more breaths here. Notice how you feel. Taking that with you. As you close your practice with the next breath, inhale, hands lift. Exhale together in front of your heart as you bring your awareness downward, inward. Thank you all. Namaste. And again, I look forward to seeing you soon.